For the fifth time, DC Comics has brought together well-talented and sensational artists to deliver the special issue Batman One Bad Day, Bane #1, with the lingering question hovering in our minds: who was the one that broke the bat? The issue was released on January 16, 2023. In this video, we will take you through the fascinating story featuring Old Man Bane, who is still as much of a threat to Batman as his younger version. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Who is Old Man Bane, and what's his entire story arc? If you are new to the DC world, let us quickly rewind the origin story. Bane is a supervillain who escaped from a prison in South America. Bane was there to serve his father's life sentence. He is known for his deviant and unusual strength that he got because of a drug called Venom. The writer Joshua Williamson has created a wonderful plot. Along with him, Howard Porter, Tomu, and Steve have come together to tell the story of the man who defeated Batman. The issue is divided into 3 chapters with a total of 64 pages with fantastic artwork and dialogue. Considering the short length of the comic, we need more time to dive into the storyline. However, the writers know what they have done. With Joshua Williamson on the writing part and Howard Porter, Tomu Mori, and Steve working on the art together brought the story to life, the team leaves a person intrigued and full of questions. The chapter begins broken, giving us a bone-chilling heads-up for the main event of the evening. A character in the costume of Batman enters, saying, "You are a bunch of superstitious, cowardly losers." Then we see the living embodiment of human perfection, the Old Man Bane. He was declared the best champion in the world ever before we got to see him in the ring. So it goes. Bane gets into the ring by challenging his opponent dressed as the Batman. "That is all you have got?" The crowd was all in for Bane, everyone roaring for Bane to kick him out. Of course, Bane finishes the round without much resistance from the other end by breaking the opponent's back. He wins the fight. Bane has been living all alone. Although the story is set much further in the future, probably decades from now, it is evident that Bane is still living in the past. Ironically, he has everything in his life: an excellent place to live, a great car, and people who cheer for him the entire time. Yet he is lonely. After the match, Bane takes his share and leaves. Midway, he finds people there just to click his picture and get his autograph. He even gets a request from 2 fans expecting to spend his gratitude with him. Bane refuses and leaves for his home. He sits back in the car seat as if a massive weight is on him, with his head hung low. He lives in a grand mansion with many trophies, achievements, and memories now in the photo frames. The last scene in the ring directly contrasts with the current scenarios. His story has a dark, sad, and gloomy tone. Here comes a twist. Above the fireplace is a news article from the Gotham Gazette saying, "Mysterious Bane breaks the bat?" Let us not forget the question mark attached to it. That gave us the chills. Bane has got a visitor. The visitor directly walks in, and you see waves of anger in Bane. You see his immense strength here, and he tosses his intruder like a plaything. As it turns out, the visitor did not break in to rob Bane. He has something for him. It is a high-end drug that has apparently been eradicated from the Earth's surface. Someone from Texas who deals in high-end drug sales has recreated, and we know this visitor is the delivery guy for them. He drove to Bane's house and smuggled the drug to Bane, hoping to get a lot of money against it. As soon as he holds the venom close enough to see it, everything he has done in the past seems to flash through his mind. The fantastic art shows him all red, with fierce anger in his eyes, and all ready to tear apart anyone in his way. It was a part of the flashback from the past. After the flashes settle in the back of his mind, he acknowledges that he left that life for the better. He also recalled Batman, his fight against the drug, and how its usage on soldiers could harm them, consequently smashing the drug and causing an explosion. Not only this, but he also takes the visitor by his collar and asks him to take him to that place in Texas. While the visitor calms his senses to see the real Bane, he asks himself if he is the person who broke the bat.
"I did more than that. I killed Batman."
Chapter 2, Fall of the Night, takes us back to the past, where Batman fights off the henchmen to eradicate the drug. Surprisingly, we see that Batman and Bane had worked together in the past to erase any sign of Venom from the world. There was a truce between them. After they both successfully fulfilled their mission, they would fight for one last time. This was the part of the story Bane told the visitor on his way to Texas. They were headed to Texas to stop the venom from getting into the supply again. On the way to the States, we got a lot of flashbacks how the two, Batman and Bane, had worked on the same side. Although Bane's past has not been that glorious, he is determined to finish off every trace of venom since he, too, has been a victim of this drug. Along with the flashbacks and the story of the sensational duo working against a deadly drug being revealed, we learn about the Visitor. His story is just as gloomy and sympathetic. The Visitor was born into it. Though the writers have not given us a name, his story is similar to Bane's story. Like Bane had to serve his father's life sentence, the Visitor had to work with the drug dealers to repay his drug-dealing father's debt. We do not see a bond forming between these two, but they have come to a significant understanding of each other. The Visitor, just like all of us, wanted to know about how the duo succeeded in the past. The team turned out glorious and nearly wiped out the venom from the world. They fought together against their common foe, Venom, an iconic collaboration of Batman and Bane. We understand all the core DC fans would have loved to see more of the duo. However, this would have deviated us from the main story arc. We then find out that back in Gotham, they had a common enemy called Grudge, who oozes venom and has an army behind his back to get this drug into everybody's system so that they could fight off the darkness in them. He planned to make every lost soul of Gotham strong again. This did not look good for the team. Cut to the present, where our main characters are trying to sneak in and carry out a massive drug operation in the middle of nowhere. Hence, to avoid alerting the enemy about their whereabouts, they look for the actual place from the edge of a cliff. Now comes the epic finale of the duo story. Batman and Bane are rushing out of time, and Grudge is already on a rampage infecting every second person. Bane has got a plan. Get a hold of yourself now. While Bane was elaborating his plan of blowing out an EMP, Grudge came from behind. This gave Bane enough time to prepare a counterattack. At this moment, venom was bursting through Batman's body. No sooner did he reach Bane than Batman entered the scene and got him from behind, asking Bane to activate the EMP. The EMP took out both Batman and Grudge. The superhero died saving Bane and Gotham from the potential horrors they could face from the drug. Batman died saving Bane and all of Gotham from the potential horrors they could face. Bane was furious about erasing all the traces of venom because he wanted to honor Batman's sacrifice. This reveal added to the emotional arc of the plot.
They are there!
Come the bards to get Bane. As it turns out, it was all a trap. He is given a shock and resultantly becomes unconscious. While he is knocked out, he sees his mother.
Mother, I have missed you. What happens next?
Adding to the emotional thread again, his mother tells him to fight. He had been born in the dark, and has fought on the dark side for most of his life. But as soon as he hears his mother's words, "I am so proud of you," all of it disappears. The pain and the hurt settle. The trap was set to lure Bane in for further experiments. The henchmen torture him brutally, trying to crush his skull. The Visitor was included with them. They were in a group of 4 to 5 people, so it was easy to beat a tied-up man. They kept repeating,
"The boss is waiting for you."
But who is the boss? During the torture, Bane sets his own trap. While enduring the beating, he is looking for the moment when they finally say something about the bigger fish. The bigger fish was their boss, who was right there. As soon as he gets the relevant information, Bane uses his abnormal strength and crushes them. He made sure that no one would get up. Chapter 2 wraps up with Dr. Porter still in the story. He was looking forward to further perfecting his creation. His origin story starts when Batman cannot save the Doctor's daughter. The guilt trips made Batman fragile. The Doctor gave him venom to regain strength and fight. Batman was able to overcome the drug. However, he wanted to make sure that no one ever got in contact with this deadly creation. He ascertained the fact that no one could ever get the pills again. Due to this reason, the Doctor faked his death and continued to work in secrecy on his scientific creation. Porter was dying, and he was looking for someone who could carry on his legacy. In his perception, Venom was a fantastic creation, and he did not want his legacy to die with him. Bane was so far his best creation born out of Venom, so he counted on him. While they squabble back and forth, we finally see the kid at the beginning of Chapter 3, Drug Dealer's Story. The kid was pinned to a wooden structure with all the different kinds of venom that Porter had created over the years coursing through him. This is a challenging sight for Bane to watch. Since Bane knew the kid had nothing to do with it, he was doing it so that he could live. While Porter was taunting Bane about breaking a fake Batman's back on his wrestling rounds, he could only think about getting the kid out of this mess. Bane manages to release the kid. Then we are thrown into a remarkable sequence of action scenes. Bane fails to prevent the Doctor and gets his back broken by the Doctor. Porter then dumps an entire bottle of venom on the kid. As soon as the effects begin to show, somehow Bane gathers all the courage of his vast body, gets up, and gathers all the venom, leaving them bursting into flames. We see the lengths he would go to honor his truce for the man who sacrificed himself. The action scenes were legitimate as they were happening right before our eyes, and not just on the papers, along with superb dialogues and power-packed sketches for the scenes. Days go by, and with Bane in the hospital, reports are pouring that the war against Venom has finally been won, and the drug operation has been destroyed. The world now thinks Bane is a wrestling champion and a hero who saved their lives. The person who was once called the enemy of Batman is now a hero.
I beat you again,
says Bane.
So you did,
replies Batman. Bane asks if anyone has ever learned about the truth of that day if Bane broke the bat. Batman says to keep it a secret between them. He reassured him of his actions. Whatever Bane did had finally blown away the dark cloud looming over Gotham. We finally see how the storyline justifies the title, how that one day had been an accomplishment and the worst day of Bane's life ever. Bane broke that day. Ever since, nothing had felt good to him. He reminds Batman of their deal and that one last fight. It was Bane's dream to die fighting Batman. He wanted to free himself of the pain and of the trauma that he had experienced. When Batman was there in person or a fragment of Bane's imagination is a question that has kept us up for nights, be it hallucination or reality. Batman did share something meaningful with him. He asked Bane to grow from his hurt and hold on to someone.
Inspire good,
he said. He takes the kid with him and decides to teach him everything.
Inspire good.
The chapter ends very emotionally and beautifully, with Bane selling his house, looking forward to a better and fresh start. He no longer feared anything new. He was someone who had lived his life in the past, but now it was time for the light to play its part. The comic had an immensely satisfying ending. The best part was leaving the readers wondering whether Bruce Wayne, the Batman, was real or not. Williamson has left the floor open for interpretation. What makes Old Man Bane so powerful? The primary thing that makes Old Man Bane so powerful is venom. In the past, he has used the drug to enhance his physical strength. The steroid added to his speed, durability, muscle strength, and combat techniques. His reflex actions become superhuman after the venom is injected into his system. He may fight, run, and jump beyond the most powerful human abilities. However, venom just enhances him. Bane is the most powerful and intelligent and wise enemy of Batman. Bane is firm and intellectual. From memorizing to solving any kind of maze related to Batman, nothing beats him. The age is no limitation for him to finish off anyone in his way. He had maintained his position as the wrestling champion. That he finished off Bat and took over Gotham speaks for itself. Without any venom injected into his system, he has proven himself more powerful, standing head-to-head with superhumans and breaking off Killer Croc's bones. He has proven himself to be outstanding in terms of wit and power. Marvelous verdict. What we think of Old Man Bane and the comic book. The issue no doubt serves us with breathtaking and mouth-gripping moments. It has all the elements, with the darkness, gloominess, action, thrill, suspense, and fury as we see our hero is betrayed, and then again, the victorious sigh when he crushes the hitman. Every chapter ends with a great deal of suspense and significant story arcs being explained. The issue shows how one single day can actually change one's life. So go and get your hands on it if you have not already. Thanks, everyone, and be safe.